There we go. Audio test. Audio seems fine. And level up the command all crew. I want to try to incorporate actual ship, but the one off the Intel assault cruiser honestly is terrible. Can't really. It's bad. The passive's somewhat okay, 1% crit chance and some tack readiness, but the actual clicky is just terrible. There's in-game audio. It's just I have the game music turned off, so because I'm standing here, it's not picking up any of the ambient sounds or that. There will be more audio once I'm in space. I think for this last event con. Layout. I'm gonna try to get this thing leveled up and mess around straight on it because actually when I messed with it, I just bad because it probably you'll probably only hear like some sound from I don't think this is that good, but too many comps. This new event one that came out with this latest Kobayashi Maru. It takes 50 seconds to build up to the max stacks, and the clicky on it removes stacks and a 20-second buff. It's a bit sketchy as to whether or not it's actually that useful. Head up and have fun setting up the tray. Is this any better? Yeah, I was tweaking with the settings yesterday. Hello, agent. Guess that command does not work anymore to destroy everything in the tray. That's a shame. I'm gonna set this up with a standard aux to bat setup. As usual. It's just the easiest and most reliable cooldown reduction method you can put on. Yeah, I used to use the assault cruiser as a PvP ship on my Psy many years ago. I wish I could still do that, but unfortunately, cruisers are in a very poor spot in PvP right now. I get everything. Okay, let's get the bridge officers sorted out. Oh, I gotta go eject warp plasma 3. We're gonna be messing with that here. So gotta go for best we can get. Going to perform terrible. Do walks to bats. That on there. I'm running this on the command version, so let's see. I can put a rally point marker on, but that's like the only useful command ability. It's a shame that so many abilities are just so mediocre. So I'll just do Chemo 1. There we go, not ideal, but it'll work. Yeah, setting up these trays is rather tedious. As many tacks as you can fill. So I've got 3 on here. What I could do is replace these Noskins with the Kantari Bridge Officers. Those give you a damage buff when you kill a target. It's like 2% with up to 5 stacks, and it lasts for 15 seconds per stack. And if you run 2 of them, I was talking to Florian about this earlier. He was saying that they should trigger multiple, so if you had 2 of them on and you killed 1 target, it should give you 2 stacks. Agent, back in the day, you could trade the Noskin Bridge Officers, the ones you got from Diplomacy, so that's what I did. I got one on another character and sent it over to this one. It's not something you can do anymore, but it was once possible. Higher point of this build is basically just to mess around with the consoles on it and get it leveled up. Watch as I go past half the abilities I need to put on here. Yeah, there's a lot of things that were possible back in the day that can't do anymore, which I really think sucks for new characters. Hello, Renz. Like there was a brief time where it was an exploit, but there was a way to have 8 duty officers. You could buy 3 extra active duty officer slots for space and ground. That was available for like a week or 2, and it could only be done by characters that hadn't purchased the slots. And Cryptic never took them back, so the people that went out and were able to get that still have those slots. Like I showed that off on a stream a few weeks ago. I did it on an engineer character just to test it before I reported it to Spartan. And that was, what, year, 2 years ago? So many little things like that that people have managed to get over the years that you just can't get. It sucks. Yeah, I guess traits, they're all fine. This was set up. I just swapped over from the Intel Assault Cruiser, so it's not too much to change there. Now I'll just pop into red alerts and stuff. Do I have 3 on this character? I have 3 SROs. I know I've got 2 Noskin. Is there a third? Oh yeah. Yeah, I transferred a few over back in the day. Where's my warp plasma? If I can even get to any of the enemies before they die. That warp plasma is OP, I tell you. Cheap exotic traits. After this, I'll swap characters. Take a look at my side build. I can't think of them right now. As soon as this animation finishes, I'll swap over and check. So cheap off the exchange. The really big ones are going to be improved gravity well, checkmate, exotic modulation, and those are all C-store traits. Peak efficiency is not cheap anymore. That was off the Vomp. Black alert's not going to do much. A cheap one, you know, overwhelming force can work pretty well with an exotic boat, but the issue is you want to be doing it with a boat that's doing the high yield torpedoes, so like the enhanced biomole. So it's hard to say what to put on with the grav torp there. What do I have here that might work? Forget what's available for feds for Starship traits. Parting gift, if I recall. Yeah, that one's not good. That's track beam, punch it. It's highly specialized is cheap. That one will give you at least some EPG. Have it on. Highly specialized would be better than Black Alert. So when you activate any specialist bridge officer abilities, so any of your command abilities, temporal, intel, all those, you get a cooldown reduction to the specialist bridge officer abilities, and then you get some hull restoration, weapon specialization, and EPG. So you can get up to plus 50 EPG if you have 5 specialist abilities on. Space traits, well, those are all much more affordable. Like psychological warfare. All of these space traits should be in the 5 to 6 million range. Catastrophic overload. Yeah, Yeah, that's one you can do. How much is that one? Not bad. That one's off of, what's it, jam targeting sensors? I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's a little bit of damage. It's not much. But it is something if you have nothing else. But for these traits from the exchange, invasive control programming's a good one. That's a subsystem disable, so you can knock those shields off potentially with your gravity well. Psychological warfare, that's going to increase the effectiveness of like your gravity well. That's always good to have. Self-modulating fire for the shield pen for the torps. Anchored if you're sitting still is always good for a damage buff. But a lot of the traits are always going to be a bit more dependent on everything you've got on. Hello, Antic. There's only one server for STO. For the live main server. Fully in red alert next, and then go do some patrols or something. Ren's, he's talking about catastrophic overload, the Starship trait. It's a cheap one off the exchange, and I think it was, is it jam targeting sensors? I think it is. With enough EPG, you could get a nice bit out of that. 20k doesn't sound that surprising for CCA. Hello, Graham. I'll probably be on here for another 45 or so minutes. I'm gonna head out here at 2 to go watch the new Avengers movie. Like 5 to 6 Argalas to do to get this thing leveled up now. The best way to gain EC, it's always hard to say. I used to really like messing around with the duty officer market, but it's a bit hard to work with nowadays. What I would personally invest in if I were trying to get more EC right now is to take advantage of the upcoming expansion. People are going to need various things to level up their new characters. One of the things that I imagine is going to be in a bit of demand, I wouldn't invest a ton into it, but maybe a few million to buy some cheap bonus pools and stuff like that. So I messed with plasma builds before season 13. I had a plasma beam boat I was running on my tactical character, and with season 13 they nerfed all of the weapon procs. They reduced how often they would actually proc. And let me turn the game sound down just a little bit. The thing is plasma procs on a tactical, on a build that was boosting the damage they did, the plasma weapons did almost nothing. So on a science build, in the current meta with procs being almost worthless, I would recommend not investing in that, because you're not going to get too much out of it. The only dot that I would invest in plasma-wise is the particle emission plasma torpedo. And that's not a proc, it's just a guaranteed dot with that torpedo. That is the only one that I would recommend building around, because it's the only thing you'll see results with. I really doubt it. It's just so hard to tell because so many people are sitting on so much stockpiled stuff. I mean, there's not really been any movement for how many of these things in the last 4 to 5 years. Agents of Yesterday was really not a truly new faction, so people didn't have to invest much. The last time we saw people needing to invest heavily in new characters was really with the original release of the Romulans. I would say you could maybe mess around with the Doth packs a little. Open some of the normal duty officer packs, or if you wanted to be a bit safer, get some of the very rare ones like the temporal duty officer packs. After this Argala, I'll swap over and show you some of the packs that can sometimes be profitable. But it's always such a slow-moving market. I really hate fighting the Hirogen. Sup nukes are annoying. Science stuff with this. That more plasma went to waste. Ah. Yeah, the particle emission torpedoes are just really good. They are really the only plasma-based proc that you're gonna see anything out of. Like, I'm running phasers here, but like the phaser proc, it's pretty much worthless. A lot of people dropped their coalitions right after season 13 because the proc just wasn't procking enough to warrant using. We've seen people moving towards more reliable options that give them a guaranteed something like the sensor-linked phaser or disruptor weapons. Or you've got like the Terran beam or this prolonged engagement. Procs are something that can be completely ignored right now. So let's swap and take a look at DOFs. Like with some of these duty officer packs, one of the big ones, it can be a bit hard to work with, but the Tholian Warfare Specialist. If you go look at the DOFs that are in them on the wiki, you know, Dilreen, that's the big seller. There's only like, I don't remember how many are exactly in that pack, but there's some of these packs where you have really popular DOFs, like that tractor beam repulsor pulled off the Voth one, where it's only like one of 7 DOFs in the pack, so you can get the packs pretty cheap, and you know that on average, 1 out of every 7 is going to give you that DOF. The Draeneur ship. I've seen people use the Draeneur ship for PvP a little, but I don't think it's going to beat the Nautilus in PvE. The Nautilus is just a very solid ship. So, when I want to go and get fleet ship modules, yeah, Gregamal's the name of that one. Agent, what I'll do is I might go and drop like 100 million and buy up some of these packs when I see them cheap, because these fleet support ones, they have a chance at fleet ship modules. The reinforcement ones have a chance to get the Tuffley. The Romulan ones have a chance to drop the Cell ship. These are a cheap way to gamble and get DOFs out of opening them, so it's always a benefit. Just don't want to spend. My cutoff limit on them is anything over 2 mil. Anything over 2 mil is not worth it. I try to usually aim for under 1.5 mil when I buy them up. But if we go look at the purple options here for duty officers, the Hirogen ones, there was the ramming speed DOF that was popular with the Bajoran engines a few weeks ago, months. That's died down. So the temporal DOF. Temporal for Klingons, 2.5 mil. Where are the Fed ones? Even this right here. Look, Gamma Quadrant Elite Duty Officer. This is like a 1 in 7 chance to give you a ZMOC. So this is 2.7 million. How much is ZMOC right now? Depends. If you buy a bunch of these packs for around that price, and you could get lucky or you could get screwed over. It's always a gamble with these DOF packs, but there's always just a potential that you're going to make your money out of it. When you're opening in large quantities, you're usually going to break even and then make a little bit more. I used to bank a nice chunk of EC, but selling duty officers overall is just slowed down quite a bit. So let's see what Dilreen's at before I go back and look at duty officers. So Fed ones, 6.5 mil, cheaper. 5 mil for the alternative one you can get from the fleet DOF packs from your starbase. 5 mil for Fed. How much are Klingon ones? Cheapest is 19 million. Boolean DOF pack name. Okay, so someone's messed with the Klingon market, but the Fed market, 750k under 1 million. It's hard to say because these markets have just been hit. Yeah, it's messing with these DOFs is just really, it's a gamble that can take a while to pay off. And with the markets being messed up right now, I would not recommend it. Let's see what the pack's at. 2.4 mil. Let's see what the Klingon and Fed offs are worth. Ragamal's 17 and Follow Kev is 30. Klingon ones sell very slow. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you right now. These markets are just way too over the place. The only way you're getting a lot of EC is getting very lucky gambling or putting money into the game right now. There's no reliable way to go and get a lot of EC. You can always do the crafting, but that is very slow, tedious work. Curious what market you're at right now. Phasers and disruptors are always the big sellers. So that is surprising. Mark II weapons are still a bit profitable to mess with. To go and craft. The damage 2 pens are not doing too well. What would be worth doing the math on? Yeah, it's just hard to say right now. It's the entire market is. This is not a new issue. This is an issue that's been there for the last year or 2 years. It's the market is a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. Like everything is coming down in price. It's harder to sell things because there's less activity right now. The crafting items, you know, it's slow, but for phasers and disruptors, maybe you get a little bit, but there's no guaranteed way to go and get a ton of EC. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it and it'd crash the market again, whatever that item is. I mean, it's the Dolph packs are usually what I would go with, but I haven't tried making a ton of EC anytime this year, really, because for a large portion of this year, I sort of was burnt out on the game again, so am I slowly using my money? Yes. I have enough stuff just tossed around my account from back when you could, you know, actually get stuff to sell on the exchange and stuff that I can just hop on a character and sell some stuff and just go and like gamble or something. Like I lost a few billion gambling. Selling the stuff I got from like opening all the Infinity Lock boxes was what I've been relying on mostly, honestly, for most of the time I've actually tried to sell stuff in the last year. Can't get the nice weapons to sell anymore. Not for a good price for you. Ships sometimes will sell slow. Oh yeah, it used to be quite a bit easier. I guess I should take a step back here and say that there is one reliable method for EC generation. It's just one that a lot of people don't like. That is, you have your character maxed out, or your account maxed out with characters. So, let me see if I can pull up the spreadsheet here. Hold on, give me a minute. You do Contraband and you turn it around, you break it down with a bunch of characters and you turn it over into the promo packs when those pop out. I can get on the screen. Okay. So, Contraband. This is something that I used to do a ton. So you buy a stack of Contraband for, let's see here. What's Contraband at now? So about 32k a unit. So you pay 8 million per stack. Let's say you have 50 characters, and you spend 8 million on each to give them a stack of Contraband. So you're spending 400 million EC. That 400 million EC is going to give you 5 million dill. Okay. Pull that spreadsheet back up here. Let's say I have 5 million dill. That 5 million dill is, what's the current dill design? $277. Contraband was about 32,000 a unit. So promo packs, let's just put them both at 20 mil. Because you don't sell them while the event's going on. You wait until the event's over and then you sell them. So the thing is you don't want to buy promo packs at any point during it. You want to only buy promo packs when they're on sale. So you've got 5 million dill. You invested 400 million. You're going to wait and sell the promo packs at 20 million, but you're going to invest all of your dilithium after you've turned it over after you've refined all the Contraband. That's 5 million, and you buy the promo packs when they're on sale. So the best promo pack you can buy is going to be the R&D, because you can get 4 of them for 800 versus 4 of the DOF ones for 880. So your potential turnaround on those is about 4.5 times what you put in. This is a personal spreadsheet I have. I could dump it online if you wanted it. I haven't messed with this in half a year though, so numbers might be a bit fuzzy. Sorry about that. So that 4.5 turnaround, 4.5 times. So the initial investment of 400 million is now 1.76 billion. The issue is it's time. You have to spend a lot of time to do this. You have to get, this is with 50 characters turning over, so 50 characters doing a full stack of Contraband is basically 50 days. Give me a minute here. Windows being very loud. Just ignored like the assets tab and stuff. But on the main character tab, I just monitor how much Contraband I have and all that stuff. But on the one tab we want to look at here is the DIL to Zendes conversion. And again. Yeah, 50 characters, it's a lot of initial investment. It's just that it pays off over time. It's a lot of investment initially, and it will pay off eventually. It's a lot of work. So what you want to do, if you actually want to follow through with this, is you wait for an XP weekend and you make Klingon characters. You skip the tutorial and you do the first mission where you punch the Ferengi. Then it's level 10 or 11. That's all you need. They only have to be level 10 or 11 to be able to start the duty officer assignments. That's it. Go back and look at my account here. I did this with all these characters ages ago. Like, let me see here. I'm just gonna pop into one of them. Let's see if anything's sold on. Made this character summer of 2015, okay? I went through and hated myself and pretty much spent an entire day leveling up a bunch of characters. Just skipping the tutorial and going through that first mission or two just to get up to level 11. That's it. Then I dumped Contraband on him. That's it. Just have him sit right at the security officer. Do the keybinds that I've shown in my videos before. 7 to start the assignment, 8 to refine my DIL, 9 to go to character screen. I can go through all 50 characters in 20 to 30 minutes. And so it's not hard to do. It's just tedious, and I find it hard to stick to it myself. But if I'm watching a TV show on another monitor, and I'm just going through this on my main monitor, it's not that difficult. And it pays off. We look at the spreadsheet now. Do the 50 days, so that's under 2 months really of work there. Because a stack of Contraband takes you 50 cycles, 50 Contraband turn-ins to get rid of it all. So those 50 cycles on the 50 characters, that's 100 times 50, so 5 million DIL. You do that a few times a year and you only convert the DIL over into Zen and buy the promo packs, you get a lot of EC. And then you just repeat. So I guess if you want something that is reliable, that's it. If you want anything else that is as reliable as this, there is nothing else. Yeah, I know you've heard of it, Lunt. But if you truly want something that is guaranteed to return a profit, that will give you a good profit always. This is the only thing. Everything else is just gambling, and as much as I'd like to say that there are other ways that are as reliable or can give you as much of a return as this, there just isn't. Back to a few patrols in because I gotta leave here in 20 or so minutes. Yeah, it sucks. The time it takes and all that, it really sucks. But if it's truly what you want is you want to get a bunch of profit, I don't see another alternative. It's that or toss money in. Back here, get in the warp plasma. Yeah, it really does suck. You know what I'm gonna do, Agent? I'm gonna go through do a video on it. Because I think, you know, that's a market. It doesn't matter if more people do it. It doesn't matter if everyone does it. It's something that you can't really ruin. Because it's just a guaranteed, always going to be a return. They already nerfed Contraband heavily. They're not gonna hit it again. I have to say, it's pretty satisfying to actually damage enemies with the warp plasma. Also, just a little update for like me actually making, you know, videos and stuff. I have one thing left for my semester here, and then I'm gonna have a lot more time this summer. So I'm actually gonna be working on some stuff here, including a few giveaways. Can't say what for quite yet, but I would definitely stay tuned starting a few weeks into next month. Very glad it's not the Herogen. Just need to keep giving me K's on. I'll see what all I can do here, because I'm really gonna have a lot more time this summer than I had these last few months. Thank you for watching, Lund. I've been trying to at least do some streams here or there. It's just committing down to actual videos. You get some things you work on, and then you get distracted by other things. Having my Cisco class, security class, and my Java class done here at the end of this week is going to be very, very helpful. I know that there's some science people watching, but I would personally be very content if they just removed Subnuke from the game completely. Just saying. Or at least from the NPC, if you don't want to remove it from players. Just remove it from the NPCs, at a minimum. Barogian hunter escorts don't need to all have Subnukes. Hurts my immersion. This is why I need a side team on here. This and the Subnukes. Can't see anything. And before I get Subnuked by this group of NPCs, oh, so nice. 2 Subnukes. I don't think I can do anything as nice as that, but there will certainly be a ship at some point. It's not going to say what yet. That's all the nukes. This. That trade on and do that Romulan alert. The subnucleonic beam is a very powerful ability that science captains have and some NPCs, which I don't think any NPC should have it. It removes every single buff you have on you at the time and puts you on a large cooldown debuff. So everything takes longer to cool down. For human tech, really anything over 300 is fine. I think right now I'm at somewhere between 200 to 250 on my stuff. I think this specific build I'm in right now has maybe upwards of 275. I'll check here. swap this trait for it. This trait's going to do absolutely nothing in this map. Oh, my immersion. If this cube goes through. Oh. Here is Nakul Das. Just realized that me trying to get the most out of warp plasma in a queue like this is going to be rather difficult, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. Because pretty much anything you can use is going to be overkill in a normal difficulty map. The overkill. By the way, it looks like it's the end of June for the release of its expansion. Let me pull it back up here. Looks like June 28th. A friend over at the thing over in Germany or whatever was telling me that they announced it there or something. I don't know what I was thinking of bringing it. Build hoping to test anything. I can't even get to them before. Laser's too OP. The warp plasma just can't do a thing here. Probably not even going to be able to touch the scimitar at the end. Terrible. Even trait. Bit of a rush. I'm going to hope that those 3 there can handle Facility Alpha.
Facility Alpha is back online.
On Warp Plasma, do your work. That was really disappointing. I've come to the conclusion that Warp Plasma sucks, guys. That was really disappointing. I was hoping for so much more. Is it even showing on the tooltip here?
Excellent. The area is secure and we restored peace in
Yeah, shut up, Nog.
I'll mention your efforts in my official report. Chimera out.
Okay, so look at this straight again. Etrion. I hit the wrong thing. Okay, so it did take it down to 15 seconds. But the damage afterwards seemed to do like nothing, so I don't know what was going on there. Very, very sad. Does anyone have any final questions? Oh, and speaking of giveaways, there is one up on the STO subreddit right now that someone's hosting, Mr. Osmosis. Put a link to that in the chat here. They're giving away some keys and some fleet ship modules. All you have to do is put in your @ handle in the thread there, and you're entered for a chance to win. Check the chat there for that link. It's already like 90 comments, so okay, I don't see any more questions, so I am going to hop off for now and head out and go see this new Avengers movie. I will see you all around, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section of this when it goes to a video, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if I don't have a new video out by late next week, I'll be doing another one of these streams then, so check that out. See you all around.